Of course, I was on mute, so that's why I'm not hearing anything. My bad. Oh my god, I feel stupid. All right, so we should be ready to go. Um, of course, I was on mute. There we go. All right. Oh man, what's up, everybody? We are here for GPA Saturday, episode 7. I want to thank everybody in advance for checking me out. Always enjoy doing this. As I was trying to get like some content and stuff for today's episode, I was just really just reminded of just how much I love doing this. So thank you so much, and I want to appreciate all the comments and messages and stuff. Had a lot of positive feedback from people saying that they enjoyed me doing this, and that's what it's all about. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy any way that I can contributing to the comic book community. So it really is my pleasure. Shout out real quick to everybody. Comically Flawed Adam, what's up, bro? Glad you could join us. NLC Productions, what's up? Who else do we got? EXILESTATE Comics, Justin's in the house. And Gomez, you get your package yet, man? Oh no, you haven't. You haven't got your package yet. I just sent it out. So great. Okay, who's that? It's Fate now. What's up, man? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started because we should be done pretty quickly today. I'm not gonna be here more than hopefully 40 or 50 minutes. So I got to share my screen, talk about just a few things real quick. Okay, so right here is our next live auction for August the 13th, Sunday, August the 13th at 7 p.m. As I was looking at this date, I was thinking like, when The Walking Dead gets started, I'm going to have to change this because there is no way that I'm going to try to compete with The Walking Dead. So I may have to move the time up. I think I'm going to keep it Sunday, just kind of move the time up or really late, but I kind of don't want to do that. So also, my pressing service is live. I am accepting submissions. I've actually had a lot of people contact me over the past week since I announced it, but nobody has submitted anything yet. I would love to hear any questions or concerns that anybody may have. I promise you will get your books back if that's a concern. I also think a lot of it might just be people are just kind of like lazy about the whole process. I honestly maybe only expect people who want to get their books graded to submit their books to me. Like if you just want to get a press and then just stick it right back in the short box, there might not be a lot of motivation to do something like that. But who knows? But we are live with our pressing service, so check me out if you want to get some books pressed. As you can see right here at the bottom, prices and quotes at Facebook. You can call my number, but all I'm gonna do is tell you is go to Facebook. So there you go. And also you got these promos going on right now. So, and then also make sure you check us out on Instagram. I'm posting a lot of cool stuff, doing raffles and stuff like that. All right. Also Tuesdays, Comic Conversation. We actually had one last night. And I had to give us a big round of applause because only with JLS Comics and Comic Conversation could you call last minute on a Friday and be like, hey, y'all want to get on and do a chat because I got some things that I want to talk about. And all of us, like, I don't know if that's like, loyalty to Jesse or if we just have no life. I don't know, but we all just happened to join on last minute on a Friday to do Comic Conversations. So, but that was fun though. That was definitely fun. Jesse right here, Justin, Boston Chris, and your boy. Check those guys out on comicbook.com. Also, I think Justin's hounding and looking for writers. So if anybody has a magic pen and got the urge to do some writing, go ahead and go over to comicbook.com, contact Justin at EXILESTATE Comic Books. I'm pretty sure he would not mind you writing some articles over there at comicbook.com. So check those guys out. All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. Got just a few things. I had a few people contact me. Let me go and give shout outs real quick to CGC fan. He had a list of things that he wanted me to check out, and some good books, by the way, I must add. I appreciate this because you guys kind of give me some interesting books to look up, things that are kind of outside of the whole key thing that everybody and their mother is looking for. Galactus, Iron Galactus, I don't have a big book for auction yet. Speaking of The Walking Dead, could you actually, you guys are going to want to stay tuned to the end of this. I don't feel like unsharing my screen right now, but I got a major slab, major key that I'm going to unslab next week. I'll show you what that is here toward the end of the show. So I'm already getting requests. You know what? I'm gonna have to write this stuff down because as the feed goes up, I can't keep up with you guys. So NLC says, could I look up Walking Dead? I actually think I already did that at one point, but I think I could do that again real quick. What was that first, Michonne? All right, and what else do we got? Oh, First Governor. Yeah, when he gets his hand cut off. Okay. Adam, yeah. Hey, it was last minute, bro. Like Jesse literally asked us like a couple hours before, 2-3 hours before we went on. So all right. Sorry guys. All right, let me go. Okay, so this is what CGC fan wanted me to look up. Great cover. You get the first appearance of Miles Morales here. He wanted me to look up GPA 9.8. I don't think this book is doing much. I really don't. I think that if you look at the high right here, this book peaked at 375 last year. When was that? Like around? It might have. Maybe it was around here, somewhere around there. I think this was once we got word that what's his name? Donald, was it Danny Glover? Donald Glover? Not the one from Lethal Weapon, but the one from what was he in? He does a lot of indie movies. Anyways, once we got word that he was going to be in it, a lot of people speculated that he was going to be Miles Morales, and I even did too. I thought he'd be a great choice for Miles Morales. But that's not the case. But anyways, once we got word of that, I think is when we kind of got our spike, because look at what it's done lately. We're halfway into 2017, and the highest it's only sold was for about $100+ less than what it peaked at last year. And you had about the same amount of copies, because you can see right here 47 and 57. You'll probably get more because we're only halfway through the year. But so that's what you're looking at right now. I guess the time to have sold was last year, but I think that Miles Morales is a good book still to have, because I believe strongly this guy is going to eventually pop up in a Spider-Man film. Now, he might not pop up as Spider-Man, but if he pops up as Miles Morales, oh man, the internet's going to crash. So there you go, CGC fan. Also, CGC fan wanted me to look up this one right here, which I actually think we did already, but I'll do it again real quick. First Gwen Stacy. He wanted me to look up a 9.8. I don't think he wanted me to look up signed. Nah, he just wanted me to look up a 9.8. So 9.8, about a $200 book. It peaked out at one time at 300. I guess this was shortly after it came out. But it's, it's obviously it's gone down quite a bit. But, as you can see right here, it stayed pretty steady, and it's actually kind of on an incline, a very slight incline. So I guess if you could find this book for $100 or cheaper, it still might be worth to have. Because I think that Spider-Gwen has definitely created a fan base for that character. So still probably a good book to have. And then our CGC fan also wanted me to look up Werewolf by Night, which I will do so really, really quick. He wanted me to look up a CGC 4.0. Now this is just what kind of got me stumped. I have no idea why this happened right here in what is this, 2015-ish? Because it went from like what, $150, $160 book to like at one point over $400. So, which I guess is when it peaked out. That was actually this year. It peaked out at $450, man. So that's quite a jump, man. That's a $300 increase in a 2-year time span. Wow. That's amazing. So I think that this is just mostly from just a lot of word of mouth, a lot of talking, because we haven't got any kind of movie announcement, got any kind of TV announcement. And I think this is just a lot of speculation right here, a lot of speculation. So there you go. You're looking at right now I'd say about a $300 book, especially since at least one has sold already this year for $450. I would say it's at least about a $300 book in that condition. So there you go, CGC fan. This is going to be the next one that I'm going to look up. I want to see what's going on in the chat real quick. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, this should be a pretty short episode today. Okay, fading out. Okay, I remember you, bro. I remember. All right, so oh gosh. Okay, so real quick, it's fading out asked a question yesterday. He was we were talking to each other over Instagram. He wanted to know how to go about getting his books graded. He's never done it before. Let me see if I can okay. Well, the easiest way for me to tell you this is I prefer CBCS. I had not graded either until probably about a year ago. I had not sent in any submissions on my own. I was always using somebody else, like typically my LCS. I was sending books through my LCS and just getting them to do it. And then I decided just to go ahead and do it on my own because I had this great big business idea that I was going to get a crap ton of books signed, slabbed, and sold. And that did not take off like how I wanted to. It's still actually in the process of, accomplishing that which I wanted to do when I first sought out to do it a year ago. But so I decided to go ahead and do some submitting myself. So I did a lot of research. I called CBCS, their customer service, probably about 30 times because I had so many questions before I actually submitted a book myself. And I will say this, man, their customer service was actually very helpful. Zach is the main guy that kind of comes to mind. And they were helpful. I mean, I don't always run to Zach, but I would always get a combination of 2 or 3 people every time I would call. So I decided to go ahead and, look it up. And I read all their content, everything that they had on their page. But one of the things that you have to understand is, are you going to do this regularly, or you just want to submit a couple books? If you want to just submit a couple books, it might not be beneficial to sign up for any kind of membership. Here's their memberships down here at the bottom. Now, I want to say this: I'm not just a CBCS fan. I'm not a CGC hater or any of that. I will take either one. It doesn't matter to me. And even on some occasions, I take PGX. It does not matter, because it's all about the collecting, and it's all about the money involved. I don't think that there's any difference between CBCS and CGC, although some people would disagree. I've seen lately that CBCS is stricter with their grading. CGC is a little more lenient. There's been a lot of talk about that in the grading outlet, or grading community, I guess you want to call it. And it's no difference to me. Some people want to say, well, CBCS is about 10% cheaper than CGC. Not to me. I'm going to sell my CBCS books the same price that I see CGC books selling at the same grade. You don't have to buy it, but that's what I'm going to sell mine for. And I think that everybody should stand up for that, because CBCS, just because they're younger, doesn't mean that the quality of their books goes down anymore, especially when you're able to agree with the type of grades that you get. But anyways, here's the memberships right here. They do have an option for non-members, which is free. You know, you get, I guess you don't get no rewards, coupons, no discounts or anything like that on your Fast Pass. This is what I'm signed up for. I'm signed up for the bronze. This is typically what a lot of people use when they first sign up. And then you get your rewards, you get your coupons, which is 2 times 2-day modern, and you get 3 Fast Passes. The thing about this is that you pay $100, but then you get all this credit right here, which this is at least close to $30 credit, and this is, God, it's been so long. I'm not sure what the value of this is, but basically what I'm saying is that the $100 that you spend to get the membership, they pretty much give that to you in coupons and discounts. So it's almost a free it's almost free couple of submissions once you sign up. Now, you know, obviously you got this, then you got the dealer. I looked into and found out that you have to be submitting probably on average at least 200 books a year to get like the dealer discount. But other than that, this is typically what people go for. And what you do is once you get a book, okay, so you go over here. I'm going to just give you a quick example. Right here at the top, submit comic. So I click on that. And they're letting you know right now, process within 12 weeks after receipt. So they're experiencing a lot of traffic. Oh, that's a peanuts. I was looking that up for Adam. Adam, I still got your peanuts, man. Oh, man, let me get rid of that. How do I get rid of that? There we go. Okay. Golly. Okay, so submit comics. Okay, so what you do is you just add a comic, you click over here, and keep in mind, once you go through this right here, you can just remove it, you can erase it. There's no commitment as you kind of press buttons and stuff like that. So I'm going to add the Batman. So that's the title. You come over here, put the number. I'm going to do that Damian, first appearance of Damian Wayne that I got. And I think that's, is that 2006? I'm just going to say it's 2006. Publisher. It's pretty self-explanatory. And actually it is a variant. It's a 1 and what is it? 1 and 10. It's a 1 in 10 variant. What I usually do if I have questions and I'm not really sure how to fill this out, I almost always go to CGC, or I mean eBay. I get the book that I want in a CGC slab, and I look at the banner, and I put whatever the banner says specifically in these spaces right here. Your quantity, you're going to want to put how many you're submitting. Now, your value, here's where you're going to really want to pay attention. Let's say it's $100. it automatically populates over here as about an $18 fee to get it graded. Now, once you hit 250, oh, is it 250 or 251? I'm gonna say 251. Yeah. Okay. So they give you up to $250 value at only 18 bucks. Once you get more than 250, like I put in 251, I took out the zero and put in the one, it automatically went up to $40. And what happens is they put that in a 2-day modern tier. Here are your tiers right here. You got your, let me see. Let me go back. Shoot. What did I just do? I wonder why it's not going away. Anyways, you have different tiers, and for anything $250 or more, or $251 or more, it's going to be a 2-day modern. And then you have rapid. So you're really just going to have to go through this. But what you do is once you fill this out, another thing I think is important is you need to select whether you want to use FastPass or not. I don't use FastPass, and the reason being is because everything that I pay to get a book slabbed, I have to factor into what I might sell that book for. So if it costs me $40 to get a book slabbed, I'm not going to sell it for $20. I'm not even going to sell it for $40 or $50 because then it's a waste of time and money on my part. But you do have to factor all that stuff in to try to sell it. So I don't use FastPass. I used it at the beginning, because I was anxious. It was new to me. I wanted to see what I was getting. I don't use it anymore. Yeah, it might take me 3 months to get my stuff back, but I don't care because once I get it back, it's almost like a present during Christmas time. So, so you either use it or you don't. Once you're done, this right here is, I don't know why it's not allowing me to use grade screening. I think the reason being is because of the type of book that it is. They think it's going to be at least a $250 plus book. Let me take this off and see what happens. Yeah, it still doesn't reset itself. But anyways, so I'm just going to save it. I'm just going to save it real quick. Anyways, this should go away. I don't know why it's still in a 2-day modern tier. I don't want it in a 2-day modern tier. Modern, that's what it is. Sorry. Oh God, I feel stupid. All right. So, anyways, once you put it in, so modern, 2-day modern, consumer, quick stream, rapid, 1 day. Once you put it in the modern tier, it goes back to only 18 bucks. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. So now here's what happens. Let's say I want to go to checkout. Go to checkout. Show my address and everything. Anyways, what you do is you have to just go to checkout and you go ahead and finish the process. Once you get this paperwork, you need to I think you need to print it off. Yeah, I think they tell you to print it off and submit it with your books. Now they don't charge you. Here's the thing I like about CBCS. Once you print this off, once you send your books, they don't charge you until it starts going through the grading process, if I'm not mistaken. Because I've had books that I sent off and I'm like, why are they not charging me? And then come to find out, once it was through the grading process, then that's when I actually, no, they charged me before it went through the grading process. Once they charged me, then the books got graded. And one of the things I actually like about CBCS is there was definitely a clear line of communication with the entire process. As a matter of fact, once they get your books, they let you know, we've received your books. We'll send you an email once they go through the grading process. And there's like 4 stages in which you get emails from the time they receive it, from the time it's in their vault ready to be graded, processing of payment. There's another email letting you know that's going through the grading process. And then there's another email, I think, letting you know that your books are finished. And there might even be a sixth one letting you know that your books are being sent off back to you. So you get about 5 or 6 email notifications from CBCS letting you know that updated as your books go through the entire grading process. And one of the things that I like about CBCS is you get free grader notes. So I'm too anxious. I don't like to wait a lot of times, especially when it comes to slabs. What I end up doing is I end up going and seeing what my books, the grades are before they even arrive at my home, you know. And these are all the books that I've submitted over the past year. So I can look on here and see what the grades are before I even get them at my doorstep. So yeah, that's it. And it's pretty easy. And their address, you're going to submit them to, I believe that this is their address right here. Yeah, this is the address where you submit your books to. So after you get your books packed, after you get your slip, send your books here, and then you just play the waiting game. You just play the waiting game. So let me go to the chat real quick because I know I've been talking a lot about this whole grading process. See what everybody's talking about real quick. I hope that answers your question. Fading out. Yeah, Adam, you're right. The first Michonne is somewhere in the teens. I got to get screenshots of all the things that you guys want me to look up because I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to do all this. Timothy, Canadian Comic Hunter. I think I said that at the beginning. I hope you're having a good Saturday too, bro. My next live auction is actually August the 13th, Sunday. Yeah, the Werewolf by Night has been speculating for a while. So let me kind of get more caught up. Let me see. NLC says CBCS doesn't pull BS like CGC. Yeah, I think that because CGC is kind of the top dog, they dominate 60 to 80% of the market. They don't feel the pressure to provide good customer service or to perform good because they're the top dog. I mean, you were the only dog around for a while until PGX came around, then Vault, and now CBCS is the number 2. And I think CBCS is going to be around for a while because I think the president of CBCS now was a former CGC worker. What level or what office did he perform at CGC? I don't know. I forgot, but a lot of people say CBCS is not going anywhere. So yeah, they do give books a higher grade to get bigger profit. I think a lot of people don't realize is that certain books, definitely Silver Age books, the higher the grade, the more percentage of that profit CGC puts back in their pocket. But I think the same thing applies to CBCS. I think that lets you know that they put about I think it's like 3 to 5% of the current market value that they charge you according to that grade. Oh, Timothy asked about the verification with CBCS. Okay, real quick. What you do is I'm just going to go right here and we'll go to this book that I'd already. Okay, so right here, you have the signatures section toward the bottom of that. Verified, this is your red label right here. Add authentic, this is your yellow label in which you were a witness or you gave your books to a CBCS witness. There's definitely going to be a price difference. Like right here, like I'm just going to put Stanley date. I'll just say I got him to sign it, you know, yesterday. Or today. We'll just say today. Add it, and it only charges $5. Okay. So let's remove that. Let's go to the verified. This is your red label. And they may still ask encapsulate even if verification fails. No. Oh, here's another thing. I didn't even realize this. This is automatically populated to encapsulate the book even if verification fails. I unchecked that because if somehow, some reason they think my signature is not legit, I might not want to waste the time or the money getting it slabbed, because then again, it's like, what's the point? So once you add that, if you see over here, the verification service is $25 because they have to put that through some kind of a scientific process in which they send it through a machine and stuff like that. And actually, when you kind of click on here, you can see they tell you about that right here. Services, signature. I'll go to a different. Let me see if I can go to a different page. Yeah. So here's the verification process. If you go to this link, you can read all about it. And again, the same thing with selling CBCS and CGC. Guys, you might disagree with me on this, but I'm not gonna have any price differences either in a red label and a yellow label, especially when it's from CBCS. If I'm raffling or selling a book, I think I'm going to consider a red label the same thing as a yellow label, because see, you guys are sending me on rabbit trails. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you know, I've been to Stanley signings, and let me just say this: there is nobody hovering over you as Stanley is signing your books. Anastasia Collectibles is literally right next to Stanley. I could come to them with a book signed by Stanley from 5 years ago, and they'll still put the date in which they were there with Stan Lee as the date that the book was signed. So there's nobody looking. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because it's like, if nobody was looking, you know, then why should anybody care to look when I got this, when this was originally signed, maybe back in, I don't know, 1998. So it's a signature. It's a legit, authentic signature. Whether I got it signed the day in which somebody witnessed it, or whether it got signed a day in which somebody did not witness it, it's still verified as legit, as authentic. Okay. So that's why I will not have any kind of price difference between a red label and a yellow label. And not only that, but CBCS cannot get a Stanley signature or a Todd McFarlane signature and signatures from other people unless they get approval from the person doing the signing that it can get yellow labeled on certain occasions. What I'm saying is that McFarlane only allows yellow labeled signatures 2 times a year because he doesn't like the whole idea of, I guess, people making money off of his signatures, or how the industry and the business has turned out. I'm not sure. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys real quick. Let me unshare my screen so I can kind of show you guys a little something. You guys got me, man. I gotta stop this. You guys, man, you guys with all the CGC and CBCS stuff, man. My goodness. All right, you see this right here. This is the book I'm actually going to unslab probably next weekend. The reason being is because I strongly believe that I can get a 9.8 out of this. It's going to cost me about $100 to do it, but it's worth it to me because I have only about $350 invested in this already. So, and right now this book is worth about $900. So it's worth it to me to spend the extra $100 to see if it gets a 9.8 or if it comes back again as a 9.6. So, and besides, I don't like the old banner. Okay, so I got McFarlane and Stanley to sign this the same day in Dallas Fan Expo last year, the same day. I could have gotten this CGC'd, but I didn't know that CGC and CBCS reluctantly honors Todd McFarlane's request not to do any witnessing of his signature unless he approves it. And that's only done like twice a year. And because I didn't know, I got him signed and I had no choice but to use CBCS. I could have went to CGC and be like, hey, I got this, get this yellow label, but then they'd be looking at this and it would probably end up getting like a green label because they could not, legally have that as a witness signature. And the same thing applied with CBCS. So, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to keep the book. It's going to be in my collection. I'm not going to do anything with it. So I just went ahead and went with the red label. So that's why, that's why I don't really have any price difference because even though it doesn't say where, it says signed by Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane right here. So, thumbs down, do whatever you want. I don't care. But when I sell my books and it says it's an authentic signature, that means it's authentic. That means it's legit. And to me, it's no different than if somebody stood over and witnessed it. Okay. All right. Oh, go back to sharing my screen. Oh man. All right. So I hope that we've covered everything. If not, just message me and I can maybe send you a few links or something like that. Where am I? God, man, I'm so lost with the chat. But you guys get hype when we start talking about slabs and CGC and CBCS, don't you? I would agree with Contender. CGC serious collectors serious for flipping. CBCS casual collector. I could kind of agree with that. Fast pass real quick. Fading out means that you get your books quicker. If you're not a member, it costs you $10 per book. If you are a member, it's like $9 per book. You kind of cut your time in half. So you cut actually, even during con season, I think that with Fast Pass, I got my books from CBCS in about 30 days. Without Fast Pass, you're going to wait about 3 months. Okay. That might not mean a whole lot when it comes to maybe 1 or 2 books, but when you're submitting like 10, 20, 30 books, there's a difference that there's a significant difference there because then you're talking about a $200 to $300 difference just to get your books quicker. And if you're selling, it's not worth it to me because then you'd have to factor that into the price. Yeah, Adam's right. Both do witnessing, but CBCS is the only one who will verify signatures. And I think that the reason why CGC doesn't do this is because I've heard from people who do the signature program, they say that it's kind of an expensive process. So that's why, and I guess CGC just doesn't want to invest in that. Now, one of the things I think is CGC invested into the process. I think that they would probably gain more customers because nobody wants their signatures green labeled. At least nobody who wants to sell their book. Vernon Johnson in the house. What's up, bro? Contender. One thing I will say about that is he says that CGC books get more dollars than CBCS. That's only because sellers are have accepted that subconsciously. I don't. As a matter of fact, when I do a lot of my raffles and stuff, one of the requirements is to give a snapshot of the GPA, and so that people can see what the book's current market value is to the price that you're trying to raffle it off for. So, and what a lot of people do is, even with CBCS books, they'll use GPA. GPA is strictly for CGC books. I think that that's going to change, or they're going to lose their market because of CBCS, but that's entirely up to the seller. If people accept the 10%, 15% price difference, that's on them. Me, I'm not going to do that. Adam, it was true. I think it's changing. I think it's changing. Oh man, I'm so far behind. Sorry, guys. I don't have an opinion on PGX right now. Mostly because of the whole Ninja Turtle video that was shown. If you guys want to check that out, that came out like 5 years ago, I think. Just go to PGX, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A guy had I guess he submitted a first print Ninja Turtle book, and what ended up getting slabbed was like a second print, and so he was really pissed off about that. Iron Galactus, I think I looked up Saga #1 on my second or third GPA analysis. Don't know if I'm going to have time. All right, I'm far behind. I got to get caught up with you guys. All right. All right, let me go ahead and finish this. Golly, we went on a whole rabbit trail. All right. So this was the next book. Real quick, I'm gonna look up these next three, and then we're gonna close this out. This was the next book, Batman Adventures, Mad Love. Who wanted me to look this up? Johnny on the Spot. Johnny on the Spot wanted me to look this up. He said signed by Bruce Timm. I looked it up, and the only thing I found right here was this signature series. The only problem is it does not say who it was signed by. But this book is peaked out at $900 at one point. Man, now this is just crazy to me. This book peaked out at $900 at one point, 2014, which is just insane to me. But look at what's happened to it since. It's cut in half. Actually, even more than that. It's at about $365 value now. So it took a spike, which obviously was probably during your Suicide Squad movie announcement. It went down, and then it went up a little bit, and then it's really taken a dip. So I don't know if that was because people just weren't satisfied with the whole relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn, but it's taken quite a price drop. So there you go, bro. Now this one was a little interesting, although I think that it's too early to tell. Vernon Johnson wanted me to look this up. I looked it up, but you're not really getting much action, and here's why. You've only had one of these sell in 2017. Actually, I think only one of them sold, period, because nobody was getting this book slabbed. People weren't getting this book slabbed until they got a movie announcement. And I even looked it up right here on eBay, and they're right. It sold for $101. They don't even include shipping, and that's the GPA 101. So it's too early to tell. I would not spend $100 on this book. We were talking about this. I don't know if it was live or off air with Justin and Jesse, and I don't know if it was yesterday or Tuesday. Even though the Black Order is going to be in the Infinity War, one of these Avenger movies, one of these Marvel movies, I think they're going to be like throwaway villains. I don't think they're going to be at the level of the magnitude that Thanos or Darkseid or any of those characters are going to be at. The speculator in me, you know, the collector, the buyer seller in me says, if you get this book on the cheap in a dollar bin, cover price maybe $5, maybe 10, I don't know. I wouldn't spend no more than that. Don't spend $100 on this slab. Now I could be wrong. I mean, once this movie comes out, they could have the Black Order in a whole nother direction, doing their own movie or fighting other, being established villains in the MCU, fighting other heroes in the Marvel Universe. But I would not speculate on this book just because of the level that Thanos is at and the level that these characters are at. So yeah. So you guys feel me, Adam and Timothy, Canadian Comic Hunter. You guys understand where I'm coming from. It is a lot to me. That's like a $40 book. Even slab, $50, $50 plus shipping max. But I'm not spending $100 on this book. So, and I think that's it, guys. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Actually, let me see real quick. No, there was one book I want to get to real quick. Actually, two more books real quick. Captain Marvel 2012 number 17. Real quick. $12 right here, I guess. Number, I feel like I've looked this book up already. 17. Second print 9.6. Second print. Okay, so here you go. I don't know what the significance is with this book, but a second printing sold for it's about a $375 to $400 book. It peaked out one time at $700. Oh my gosh, what is this book? Now you got me curious, man. What is this book? I feel like I've seen this before. Oh, wow. Dang, that's crazy, man. People are paying that much money for this book. What is this? Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan cover predates all new Marvel Now point. Dang, man. People are spending that much money on this book. That's crazy. So there you go, man. That's a $375 to $400 book. Whew. If you need a press, let me know. Maybe I can get it to a 9.8. All right, last book, and then I'm gonna have to save the rest for another time because I'm kind of getting into getting over here. First Governor, Walking Dead. And guys, I was taking screenshots of all the things that you guys wanted me to look up, so I will look that up, and I'll try to get that back to you. Try to get you a screenshot or something today, so you don't have to wait for next week. Last one. First Governor. Was it a 9.8? Yeah, 9.8. And okay, so kind of squiggly over here. It's sold as high as wow. It's sold as high as just over $200. And now it's sold for as cheap as $55. Wow. That's crazy because The Walking Dead it's a hype show. And again, once the governor was alive and he was on, a couple of seasons, he was up there. Now that he's out of sight, out of mind, dude, people don't even care anymore. People ain't paying that much for these books. Yo, man, just a great example of how you really need to watch what you put your money into. If you're getting the hype and feeling the vibe of these books because these characters are on screen, that should be an indication. Let's think about this. Are you the only one feeling that vibe? Are you the only one getting that feeling of buying that book? No. Thousands of people are getting that feeling and want to buy, which is why they sell 50 copies within a 2-year time span at $200 each. And now look at it. You can get that book for at the most half of what it sold for 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. Here's my advice. Wait, guys, wait. Whenever you get that vibe, whenever you get that feeling, that should be an indication to wait. Exercise some patience, wait, and buy that book later. It's not going to kill you if you don't have it now. Wait, buy that book later. You'll feel good about it once you do, especially after going back and realizing what you would have paid for it versus what you did pay for it. Okay. All right, that's it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to continue to get some screenshots of everybody's conversation. ETA Nick was in the house. What's up, man? Oh, man, I'm so sorry. ETA Nick, I don't see how you keep up with it, man. I was just like, goodness gracious. Just the chat just kept, I couldn't keep up, man. ETA Nick, shout out to you, man. He says that the gap is closing, which I agree with. He says I'm more patient than he is answering these questions. Yeah, hey, I guess God has really blessed me with some patience. Yeah, he says the gap is closing, but Edwin is correct in that sellers need to auction less and do buy it now. Yeah, and you know what? Good point, because golly. Guys, there's a lot of work, time, research needs to go into this. If you're going to sell a book and you need money now, then auction it. But if you can wait a little bit to try to maximize the amount of a book that you're trying to sell, get a store. An eBay store is $20 a month. If you don't feel like spending $20 a month, then maybe get with somebody. Well, even that might be tough because they're going to want a percentage. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have an eBay store, then the only thing you do is like a 10-day auction. I have an eBay store. I haven't updated it in a while, but I still have an eBay store. And buy it nows are going to dictate the market value more than an auction. You guys would not believe the books that I've seen that get sold for dirt cheap because people just, I got to have it now. I got to auction it off. And I see the same book for a buy now that sells for like twice the amount. Work goes into this stuff, guys. There is no quick fix. There is no quick cash grab. There is no money that falls out of the sky into your pockets every time you do an auction unless you got a hot book. Do your research. Let people who want to sell, let their stuff be sold as a buy now so that it can dictate the market a little bit better, so that it can close the gap, just as ETA Nick was talking about. Completely agree with that. All right. Justin says he's going to hit second and Charles later and look for that new Avengers. Look it up, man, but just don't pay too much for it. Sell on Instagram if you got the reputation, yeah, and if you got enough people that'll trust you, that's for sure. All right. All right, guys, that is it. I'm going to go ahead and get off here so I can get some screenshots and try to get to you guys. Don't forget about pressing service. And next month, probably about 3 weeks from now, we're going to go ahead and do our 4th live affordable auction right here on Strictly Comics, Sunday, August 13th at 7 p.m. All right, guys, thank you so much, man. It's been tons of fun. You guys really had the wheels turning right here. So today, made me work for it. But anyways, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Keep God first in your life and enjoy your comic books. God bless you guys till next Saturday morning. Have a great weekend.